Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How is everyone doing today? Wonderful Monday, the 9th of October, and we are here to talk about what's going on the financial markets today in the world. How is everyone doing? And I hope that everyone's doing good and safe in our difficult world. And welcome first of all to our weekly trading session. The trading week is just about to begin, and we have a lot of interesting things coming up this week. Of course, we have a number of different trading sessions for you guys. So stay tuned. Every day, almost every day, we have materials in different language, and we conduct different webinars. So it's always a pleasure to conduct webinars for you guys. So I haven't really received any questions in the chat yet, but I hope they will arrive. So hello, Mr. Rule. Hello. So guys, in the meantime, while everyone is getting prepared, so first of all, let's talk about the economic calendar for this week. And one thing that I want to mention is that this week it really looks empty and there isn't much going on except just a few things. So first of all, Wednesday, so PPI, producers inflation, it's going to have an impact on the markets, not as tremendous as this news release later on Wednesday. So it's scheduled for 9 p.m. my local time. In the place where I am right now, and it'll be released at 9 p.m. and it's called FOMC, so FOMS FOMC meeting minutes, so Federal Open Market Committee. So basically there is no interest rate decision, so it'll be just some talks, some speech will be held, and it's going to have an impact on the market basically. So in the evening on Wednesday, and that will continue, of course. That will play further out into Thursday. So Thursday will also be impacted by this news. What is next? And of course, so today we have holidays in many countries like Canada, South Korea, Japan, and Thursday we are going to see a big portion of news. Like CPI and basically GDP in the UK, which is quite an important news release because it is going to show us how things are in the UK economy. Because while looking at the chart of the pound, of the Great Britain pound, we can say that things aren't going as well as probably some analysts thought they would be. But I mean, like, there is also, it's kind of black and white all the time. It's either things are going well or things are not going well, right? So we don't really have that a lot of that middle ground thing in the middle. It's either things are good and things are bad, and we can say things are just kind of like mediocre or relatively unchanged. But as of now, we can see that since July this year, the pound has been going south, continue this move southwards, and now we got stopped here. It stopped here and kind of reversed at 1.20. The level 1.20, of course, is a strong level of support, and it won't be broken just easily from the first try. But I mean, like, now we have this 1.23, kind of like this mirror level. Or the so-called role reversal. So this level or this point used to act as a support level here because it bounced off from here and went upwards. Now it acts as a support, as a resistance level, and the price won't have easy time breaking above this 1.23 level. Now, what is next? So we have this big portion of news course, CPI month to month, and CPI on yearly basis in the United States of America. It's going to be a very important news because basically it illustrates how things are in the economy of the United States. Now, let's have a quick look also on what happened on Friday. So Friday was a very interesting date, and it's kind of like one of a kind, right? It probably happens maybe once every 6 months, maybe once every 12 months, maybe even. I mean, like it's the combination. It was such a beautiful combination of technical analysis combined with fundamental analysis. It's just probably like the diamond, like the pearl example of what happened on Friday. So what happened on Friday? I will give you some analysis on the example of Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq index. So on the news release, we saw this huge drop of 200 points. So from 14,750 and all the way down to 14,500, something like that. So almost 200 points. Why the markets reacted in this way? To be honest, I don't know. I don't really have much explanation to that. It's just, the market acted as it acted. So I don't know. Don't ask me for explanation for that. I don't know. But really, when we look now, the second part I can explain pretty much in detail, and this is like one of those canonic examples. So what happened later? Later, every investor sort of realized, so why on earth is Nasdaq going down when, like, amidst positive news? So this number came like pretty much twice as big as analysts expected. So it came out better than expected. And unemployment rate, well, okay, maybe it was because of unemployment rate, right? So it went from 3.7 to 3.8. But the main subject here is, of course, the numbers of non-farm payrolls. And this number, so eventually when prices dropped here, and everyone's like, so why are we even dropping when unemployment rate, yes, it goes up and down all the time, but the more important thing is the number of new jobs created in the non-farm payroll or non-farm sector. And then we saw this huge rally. So the market rallied. What was that? That was like close to 400 points, 450 points. That was like the biggest rally probably the market has ever seen in the last few days, definitely in the last few weeks and maybe months. So, I mean, here is a perfect combination. I mean, I don't know, guys, how many of you are fond of Forex trading and how many people of you trade Forex, but it's just one of a kind example, which kind of shows like, wow, fundamental analysis really plays a major role in trading. So unfortunately, it's not really something that we can exploit when we trade FTT mode of trading, because FTT mode of trading works under different rules, and of course technical analysis applies to it in a much more convenient way. But of course, when you think about Forex mode of trading, so this number cannot be disregarded as not important. So this was probably one of that canonic examples. So you have this drop, and then everyone realized, like, I can remember maybe 2-3 instances, except this one, when it played out so well, when the initial reaction is negative, and then everyone sort of realizes, hold on a second, why are we even dropping? So that was like this kind of example. So right, Mustafa says, I had a great trade in USD CHF. The NFP came better than expected, but USD GPY didn't get affected by the news. So yes, well, personally, I prefer trading non-farm payrolls usually on indices now. It hasn't been like that all the time, because I remember, like, in older times, I would probably trade more on currencies like Euro USD, but now I focus more on indices. I don't know, it just feels like indices react much better to this news, or with much greater like range or altitude, because I think the markets or companies who belong to the Nasdaq 500, they are basically the ones who are directly affected by the number of jobs created in the sector. So, I mean, when you create more jobs than expected, you can expect, of course, that interest rates might start going down and other positive news. So, guys, all in all, well, first of all, yes, thank you, Mustafa, for your comment. USD GPY, yes, I don't really see that big of a reaction. It was pretty mild compared to the Nasdaq index. And yeah, on the Euro USD, yeah, that was a bigger one, and I think it kind of corresponds to what happened with the Nasdaq index. So at the same time, I mean, I kind of remember also trading non-farm payrolls on the Euro USD, and I think the Euro USD chart always reacted in a much more sharper reaction. Anyways, that was last week, and it doesn't really, unfortunately, happen often, but when it happens dramatically. Like a few weeks back, we saw FOMC. I didn't really talk much about that on our webinar because it was 3 days or 4 days after the news release, because it was on Wednesday. But basically, yeah, that release was also very important. And so 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, was it 2 or 3? Sometimes maybe 3 weeks ago, that also had a tremendous impact. And basically, Nasdaq, yeah, I think I can show you. So of course, in our daily routine, in our daily trading, of course, we tend to use, where is September? Oh yeah, I think it was this one. On the 20th of September, I think it was it. Yeah, right. So after that news release got released, and basically, yeah, after that FOMC meeting, and also it got combined with the interest rate decision announcement, and we saw this nice drop. So yeah, this drop was a significant and very trendy, and no reversals. So basically, there wasn't like a double bottom to that news. So it was released, it was evaluated as a negative, as if it had a negative impact on the market, and it started going down. What your thoughts are on gold? So let us talk about gold. Of course, gold. So gold, I think many people were, kind of expecting that gold will basically go up, because gold is a way to store value, of course, obviously, in our uncertain, difficult times. And I mean, I also believe that gold is one of those protective assets, as well as Bitcoin. And I think now maybe Bitcoin is gaining like more attention, more momentum in this regard, and I think Bitcoin will be more and more important because it's a way to store value. I mean, like almost like it's difficult to steal, right? Like it's kind of easier to store, more difficult to steal. You can just basically take it with you anywhere in the world. All you need like is a smartphone or that access phrase. So I mean, like it looks like basically humanity needs something like that, like some asset that is decentralized, and so an asset that can be stored pretty much everywhere. So right. So what's happening with gold? Yes, and then I think like last week and 2 weeks ago, things, I don't know, started to, well, I think it just like basically investors, they thought, okay, maybe it's not really necessary to buy gold now, and basically gold dropped below the 1900 level, which was a very strong support line. And then we saw this drop almost $100, almost basically was $90. And of course, on this news that we also on Saturday and Sunday what's going on in between Israel and Palestine, and on this news, of course, gold jumped up in price, and if we look at volatility indices, so all volatility indices, they went upwards because those they are an indicator, or the so-called indicator of greed and fear. So the fear index went up, and it's a little bit uncertain, of course, obviously, what's going to happen next. Now, another interesting news, of course, is Brent. So those who bought Brent and oil on Friday, my congratulations, of course, because you are now in having nice profits. There was a nice like almost 3-4% gap this morning, almost like that, and oil moved towards 89, then it sort of slid back down. Now we're trading at 87, but of course now the direction will be, well, whenever there is unrest in the Middle East and in that region, of course, that is the oil producing pretty much heart of the world, and all the oil, like, I know how many, like probably 60% or 50% of all the oil in the market, in the oil market in the world, comes from that region. And of course, it looks like Brent is going to continue to grow in price. So basically, I don't really see any other way. So basically, yes, up, correction, down afterwards. So one next thing that I want to talk about is, of course, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. I remain heavily invested in them. I do believe that this is just kind of like this technical, like all these like buys, no matter if they are followed by this correction, these are still indications that big players are accumulating Bitcoin. So imagine if you are a big player and you want to accumulate a lot of Bitcoin or a lot of stocks, how do you do that? Like, do you do it in one buy transaction or multiple transactions? Well, probably you would do both if you're a smart investor. So you don't want to give away all your plans, and you start doing it in little portions, right? So what you would do here is you would basically buy a little bit here, a little bit there, and then you also, when you can't wait, you also start buying aggressively, and it's reflected on the chart with these big green candlesticks. Could I have a consultation with you, Thomas? Well, I don't really conduct consultations at this point, but pretty much probably what I can recommend is talking to me on these webinars. But we have a big number of people, consultants working in our company in the VIP department, and they will be happy to provide you a consultation in any language you prefer. So yes, I talked about gold. How can Brent be affected by the situation in the Middle East? Yes, I've already replied that. Obviously, when things are like there is unrest and war-like situation in the Middle East, Brent prices, because basically, first of all, what is affected? Extraction of oil might be affected. The transport routes might be affected. So, I mean, like Europe is probably the one that basically suffers the most from these situations, because Europe now is in a very difficult position, even though natural gas prices, they are still relatively low. But you can see with the coming cold weather, with the coming winter, and winter is coming in Europe also, temperatures started going down in many countries of Europe, and natural gas prices in the United States, so Henry Hub means reflects natural gas prices in the United States, they have already gone up significantly from 2.5 up to 3.5. Of course, this is not $9 or even higher, almost $10 than that it used to cost. It used to cost in last month. Now it looks a little, of course, 3 times as cheap as it was there. It was then, but I mean, like, it's a little bit early to count the chicken because the winter has not arrived just yet, and we don't know the extent to, basically how cold this upcoming winter will be. And if this winter, turns out cold, then, well, obviously natural gas prices will go up in price tremendously. But we'll see. Yeah, so it's of course a tricky situation for Europe and also for pretty much for all the world. It's not just Europe, but it's many countries. When you have stability, everyone wants stability. But when things are not going well, you have to make decisions. So another trade that I want to mention is Ripple. I still remain invested in Ripple. I do not close my trading positions on Ripple, and I think I wanna even open a few more. That was my plan. I just opening it now, but so what I'm expecting from Ripple. Ripple is this unique beast, unique animal that sometimes just makes moves like this one. Just boom, in one day, like almost doubles in price, like goes up by 80%, 70, 90%. This asset, almost the rest of the time, it just stays pretty neutral without any significant significant moves, just kind of like that. But when some interest, some news are coming, like jumping into Ripple, that's when you want to buy. That's when you want to. So if this happened, it all follows the logic of technical analysis. If something like this happened a few weeks back, a few months back in July, in the middle of July, then the history can repeat itself. So that's pretty much my basic explanation, my explanation to this, and my maybe my setup, my pattern. What I'm trading here is I'm hoping that this situation will repeat itself. It is as simple as that. So I don't really have much fundamental news here. It's just I know that Ripple does it from time to time, and also I can see that big players are accumulating. In fact, I wanted to buy Ripple even here. I wanted to open a big portion. Luckily, I didn't do it. But as of now, yes, it's the perfect time to buy. I'm sort of buying from the previous level, and it looks like a nice investment. Other than that, guys, I don't really know what's going on with cryptos because it just seems that it's Bitcoin and Ethereum. These are kind of like the assets in play. And I think that probably Bitcoin has even maybe more potential. I don't know. But yes, we are like in bears, right? So Binance coin is going upwards, not surging. So difficult to say what's going to happen next, but my long-term forecast remains bullish, just given the fact that there is a lot of value to the Bitcoin, right? So there is a lot of value to Bitcoin, and that is why I recommend. Well, probably I don't want to give you direct advice because I'm not like an analyst with who does this paid advice. But my outlook to this it's remains bullish because basically rich people need to store money somewhere, and all of these rich people who are there and rich companies they all want to have a little bit of diversification, and they want to diversify by investing in Bitcoin as well and in other cryptocurrencies. So we talked about Brent. Let me just do some final comments on Brent. So what we can see is, yes, the SMA 50. So we sort of touched SMA 50 today. It's not the breakout yet, but it'll happen soon. We are way above 100. And the 200 SMA, we are also. So globally, if you think about Brent as a global asset, you can see that, yes, whenever we are above the 200 SMA, which is the most important one, Brent goes upwards, usually goes up. Whenever it trades below it, then usually price goes down. So what is going on currently? Well, we are trading above the 200 SMA, and that is a nice indication that we have a strong potential to go upward. Now, what I start to see in this picture is I clearly see the left shoulder, head, and the right shoulder. So is this going to be a head and shoulders pattern? Well, I'm not sure, because now, of course, anything can happen, but now, of course, you want to watch for this, how it plays out in regards to this right shoulder. So is it really going to be the head and shoulders pattern, or is it going to be a break above, a breakout, and it will be followed by a further move towards 95 level, and then probably even higher? So as of now, I think it'll be the case here. So it won't be so much the head and shoulders pattern with the break of this neckline, but I think we have nice potential of prices going up here. Why still my so the question here, why still pending my deposit? So dear traders, if you have some issues with deposits, withdrawals, please contact customer support. I work on that issue personally, and not all of them, but some of them, and we managed to find them, or in case we don't find it, we basically have to compensate it, and we do provide the compensation. So please contact customer support. They will be there with you, they will help you, and we work for the best of our clients, and we'll try to find you deposits, and basically we will, right? So 99.99 cases we are on the side of the trader, and we'll help you with that. How are my trades going? So I haven't really had too many big wins recently. So I traded a little bit on Friday on that news, but I didn't really expect that much of a moment, so I made some nice little profits, but they were relatively small. So talking about Nasdaq. Well, dear traders, I think that this is going to be it for today. I wish you all a nice trading session. Good luck with your trades. Feel free to contact our customer support, and feel also free to contact our VIP department so we can provide you with a new trading consultation. Please remember that we have this new profitability, 93%, which basically gives us, which basically means that you can make profits with 93% profitable trades out of 100. So 53% is now the bare minimum, and from there you can already start profiting. So guys, that's it. Good luck with your trades. Prepare your questions for the next trading session next Monday with me, and don't forget to join other trading sessions this week which will be conducted by my fellow colleagues. I wish you all a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.